Hello everyone, I am Dr.A.NAGALAXMI, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce with Finance in Dr. SNS College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, Coimbatore. I am here to explain a concept in corporate accounting in the unit accounting for share capital in the topic surrender of shares. So, surrender of shares. Surrender of shares is a process where a shareholder voluntarily gives up their shares to the company, typically in exchange of a return of part of the investment or under specific conditions set by the company. Unlike forfeiture, which is involuntary and usually due to non-payment or breach of terms. Surrender is a voluntary action by the shareholder. Here's a detailed look at the process and implications of surrendering shares. Reasons for surrendering shares: financially difficult. Shareholders may choose to surrender shares if they are facing financial difficulties and need to liquidate their investment. Corporate reconstruction. In case of companies, in some cases, company may offer to buy back shares as a part of reconstructing process or as a strategic move. Desire to exit investment. Shareholders who no longer wish to hold shares in a company may opt to surrender the shares to the company. Procedure for surrendering. Again, it is board approval. Typically, the surrender of shares requires the company's board of directors to approve the process. This ensures that the surrender is in the line with the company's policies and requirement, that is regulatory requirement. Agreement on terms. The term of surrender includes any financial compensation or conditions must be upon between the shareholder and the company. This often involves negotiating the price at which the shares will be surrendered if applicable. Submission of share certificates. The shareholder submits their share certificate physically or electronic to the company as a part of the surrender process. Documentation. The company may require the shareholder to complete certain forms of documents required to surrender of shares. This documentation helps ensure that the transaction is properly recorded and compliant with legal requirements. Payment. If the company agrees to buy back the shares or provide some compensation, payment is made to the shareholders according to the agreed terms. Update of register. The company updates its register of shareholders to reflect the surrender of shares and the reduction in the share capital if applicable. Accounting and legal consideration. Accounting entries. The company will make accounting entries to reflect the reduction in the capital, and any financial transaction reflect to the surrender of shares. The surrender process must comply with the company law and regulatory that is requirement, including updating the company's records and notifying relevant authorities if required. Next is impact on shareholders. So the shareholder surrender their shares and consequently their rights and the ownership in the company. That's not only surrendering shares, surrendering their ownership and rights. This means they no longer have any claim on dividend, voting rights, or any other benefits associated with the shares. Next is potential financial return. Depending on the terms of the surrender, the shareholders may receive a financial return or compensation. Strategic consideration. Company's perspective. For companies, accepting the surrender of shares can be a way to reduce the number of shares and manage a share their capital structure. It may also be a part of larger strategy for restructuring or simplifying shareholders base. Shareholders relations, offering a surrender option can be seen a positive move in terms of shareholders relations, as it provides an exit strategy for those who wish to leave their investment. So examples of surrender: voluntary buyback, that is voluntary buyback. A company might offer a buyback of shares from shareholders who want to exit their investment. This buyback is a form of share surrender. Redemption of preference shares. Preference shares that are redeemable can be surrendered by the shareholders when a company redeems it. Surrendering shares can be useful mechanism for both shareholders and companies under specific circumstances. Thank you so much for your patience listening.